Hi everyone, excuse my nails, they have painted, and we're going to paint this New York scene using one brush in very quick time. Now, my teaching may not be at tip-top shape, but I want you to just enjoy watching the paint come to life. So we're going to start with the horizon. So we go up and over, and then because this is an impressionist painting, I am just letting the pencil flow. Then I'm going to come down underneath here, and we're going to come across. It's actually a much busier piece than I thought. So we've got a plant pot there, plant pot there, plant pot there. Then we have the paddling pool, which my lads absolutely loved. I might not add them in at the minute, but if I was, there's one figure, two figure, and then the wee bug at the end. And here we go. All right, in behind there, the end, there's the water meets the horizon. It's very important to get your horizon on there. So the horizon will come through. Okay, now we've got acrylic and one quite big brush, which is really good for impressionist paintings. So we have our red, blue, and yellow. This is just cadmium red, cadmium yellow, ultramarine blue, regular white, regular black. We're going to start with the sky. So I've got two water cups and one brush. I don't mean it to be angled, but it is. And we're going to mix a nice orange to begin with. So we don't need loads of paint, but we're going to mix our first orange. The red that I use is so dominant, so I don't know why I started with that. We're going to roll over here, take a big bit of yellow into it. So we soften it a little. Then it's very light. It was a beautiful evening sky when we were staying in our amazing friend's apartment. They no longer live there in Dumbo in Brooklyn. And today I am feeling, and so that's our nice soft one. We're just going to go straight in with that. So as you can see, it comes underneath here just a little bit and then mostly cuts through the other buildings, but we can always go back over that again. So there we go. We're just planting on the color. And then I'm going to take some white and we're going to soften that. As you'll see with all of my videos, I like you to make a few variations of the one color, especially when you're doing this quick painting, because it just means that you get a nice variation in depth without having to do very much. Hopefully that stays. There's a nice footprint on this as well. Then we're going to take a big chunk of white into that and a little bit more yellow just to warm it for going up to the very top, and a tiny wee bit of blue. You'll see at the very top of the sky. So more white. There we are. A little bit of blue. Changing it slightly, but using those same base. And then we're going to use that to plant on there at the very top. Now, it's actually a little softer than that. So taking some white and a little bit of yellow. So you just work with it until you get what you're happy with. Roll the paint off the brush, and then we're going to go again in with that. All right, so this is not all one solid color, so let the two blend. Use water on your brush to pull the color down if you need. I'm going to use a little bit of that just along here as well, so it's acting like a little bit of a reflection of the sky in the water down at the Brooklyn Bridge over here. Cleaning the brush really well. Use a piece of kitchen roll. Sorry, this zooming in and out is going to really annoy you. It's going to annoy me, but I think that it's fun if we can get this camera to work. Now we're going to take a little bit of black and we're going to mix it into a little bit of your white, but we're going to take some of the orange in there, a little bit more of the black, and keep, you can always add more. You can't take the black paint out, and a wee bit of blue. I don't want these buildings to be entirely gray. So we're going to start with the tall one there, which is straight down the middle. Nice gray tone to it. Then we're coming over to this side here and we're going to block that in. So we just block it in, just commit to it. That's what I always tell to my students, just commit. Now, if I was taking my kids out, which really I should have for this, but we'll decide if we bother to put them in at the end. They'll never know. So we now want to come to the buildings. Do I want to have all uniform? No, I do not. You can see if you start to look at it in light and shade, we have lighter ones coming forward with darker ones pushing back with the side of a building. So just pick where you are. It doesn't all need to be exactly uniform. You can cut into the sky. If you pull a little bit of paint in, don't worry about that. And then over here, so you can commit to some of them a bit more. Right, now we want to make a darker shade of that. So we're taking some black into that color. I'm actually going to use a wee bit of red as well. So we're just changing it so it's even darker. And same again. So I'm going to put a wee bit of light and shade at the top of that building. Then I'm going to take another building over here. Then I'm going to bring myself over to a big chunky building. And then over here, there's little guys. So you just turn your brush, you dabble with a different part of your brush, bring it down. I painted this skyline a lot when I was there, actually, for the duration of our stay. My husband, I'm just now going to fill in here where these paint pots are in behind them so that we get some color down here. My eldest two boys, who are now teenagers, but at this time they went to the camp that I worked at when I was 18 in the Adirondack Mountains in upstate New York. So there we go, just committed to now little block colors. Now I want to make that a bit darker again. But we came to the city after they finished camp, after 4 weeks at camp, and we had the best time, like living the dream and pretending that we lived in New York for a little bit. That's not dark enough for me, so I'm going to take some more of this black into it. And then I'm going to take a wee bit of yellow and a wee bit of red just to change it slightly so it's more browny tones. And then I'm just dabbing in different parts of this, okay? So like the top of little buildings here, I'm going to just fill in my wee line, even though it's very thick looking there. Come back over. So the idea is we're just blocking out shades and shapes and little windows that you can see. This was always my favorite. At art college, I would do like so many cityscapes. I just dreamed of going to New York City as an 18-year-old. Then I went when I was 18, stayed there for a while in the summer. Right, here we go. Then the same again, we're going to start looking and focusing on little buildings that we see, but it's an impression, remember? So fill in. You can take a screenshot of this and do your own. Mine's actually become a wee bit larger than it should be. Filling in blocks at the front. Then I'm going to darken in here again with that darker shade, and I'm going to bring it down to the forefront there, just going over where the boys are on in the paddling pool, and the same over here. There we go. I might just blot out that part. Oh, it'd be too fun not to, wouldn't it? Then we're going to clean our brush really well. So you can use a little cloth to clean it really well off your brush. We're going to revisit up to this initial peachy color and take a big bit of white into it with your clean brush. And then we're going to fill in these little bits here. All right. And then this comes into the water here where we'd started the water. So pick that up with your brush. And what you can also do then with that really light shade is load your brush up and then add little bits in between. So you're adding spaces between the buildings. So don't get hung up. Don't even let yourself look for too long. And then over here, I'm going to add in a little bit of this light, very light, just turning the side of the brush. It's the top of the balcony. Okay, clean your brush again. Looks good. If a little blurry on this screen. Ugh, sorry. Right, we're going to do the paddling pool because that's fun. So taking our blue and we're going to mix it with some white. It's not that color of blue, so I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to it. Change it, roll it off your brush. And then I'm just going to commit. So it has 3 shades of blue really on it. I'm going to go for this middle shade, and this is the lovely thing about this flat edge brush is you can just have it so it fills in a big block area. Then I'm going to make a lighter shade of that. And I'm going to fill that in again here. And then I'm going to take a little bit of this gray into it so you can actually pull it if it's on the same plate as I was on. And then I'm going to fill in there, which is where their little bodies are and their little legs. You can make it a bit darker if you want. Okay, and let's do the paint pots. Okay, that my friend, she was like, as long as you just look after the paint pots. So we were keeping those watered when we were away. That was our only job. How bratty. Let us stay in their apartment. They're so fab. Okay, but then what happened was a big building went up here And then you couldn't see this view, so I'm so glad of it now. I'm gonna actually make this pink, these little pots. I know they're not pink on that, but welcome to the world of being a painter and just adding in your own, because I want to also add a bit of pink into that sky. There we go, it's a bit better. And then I'm going to make a darker version, take a little bit of blue into that, roll it off. I'm going to make these a bit more 3D. Okay, clean your brush again. Super fast, super fast. Almost done. Almost done. I should have timed this. I think it is about 10 minutes. So green, we want to mix a nice green. So we've got yellow and our blue. So we're just dabbling right on there, which is awesome. You can make a darker shade of that by adding some blue into it. Add a wee bit of blue, wee bit of blue, wee bit of yellow, and a wee bit of red. And then it becomes a nice browny color. I'm also going to bring that down so it's a bit more authentic under here where this brown is. And then maybe do the little reel in with that. Clean your brush. Okay, and then clean your brush really well, and we're going to mix a nice yellow with a big chunk of white. I'm going to use a bit of artistic license for our buds here. Here we go. We just look at that. That's impressionist painting, if ever there was it. And you're just dabbling that right on there. Now, if you want, what you can do is make that lemon really, really soft and bring it back up here and brush it in the top. So we get even softer up there. Now, let's see. A little bit here, a little bit there. Clean the brush. Should I do the lads here? Yes, let's do them. Okay, so we have brown, which is red, blue, and yellow. Okay, they're going to mix a brown. Brown takes a lot of patience. You just got to keep mixing it. Now, you're not going to need that brown necessarily, but I'm actually going to use it a little bit for the boys. So I'm going for like a leg here, a wee leg there, and a wee leg there. And then there's an arm. Then we're going to make a lighter version of it. So take it and lighten here. And we're going to, they're all pushing each other around this thing, by the way. That's what they were doing. That's what they were doing, being menaces, really, being total menaces. And we were on the 35th floor, and my husband's heart was in his mouth all the time. It was hilarious now when we look back. So you're basically just looking for shapes. All I'm doing is looking where their wee legs are, looking where their wee backs and their arms. And then this wee munchkin, he was only 3 at the time. He was an absolute monkey. I traveled over to the West Coast with him. So we're just looking at limbs. Then I'm revisiting with the dark. So all we're doing here is light and shade their little heads. So you can bring a little bit of black into the hair there. So we're going to imply that there's hair there, hair's there. And then wee legs. And then I'm going to take some blue into that brownie shade. I'm just going to give them all the same type of swimming shorts. But yeah, this little monkey here, I had him while the big ones were at camp. And he was, oh my word, he was wild. Wild, but I think third child always is. So the good thing is this is lovely and dark. So I'm going to add a wee bit more depth into our wee pool here. You can use your finger or clean your brush. And what I would do if I had more time, but I've got to go and do a school pickup. What I would do is here. So you can fill in with your lighter blue, the lighter blue of it. I can fill back in what I've gone over. Do you know what I mean? Like I've gone, so, you know, his leg is too thick. This wee bug here, his leg is too long, and I don't really know where his head has gone. So you just add in where you see dark lines. And I was talking to someone, I'm going to do proper portraits for you at some stage, but like this is all just a little moment in time captured. And that is the beauty of Impressionist art. And doing anything like this is this is just a moment, and it's beautiful. And I feel so blessed that you're on my channel. So blessed that after all these years, people are responding, and I'm finally getting like, it's amazing. So thank you for all that you've shared with me so far. And I'll tell you my story as well at some stage, but if you go on my website, you'll see My dad died when I was 7, and I would say that art has healed me. So if I can make and help art to heal you, I want to do that, and I'm willing to put myself out on the internet to do that. So this implies enough of a thing. I don't know what shape I've done all of their little heads. Let me just scoop the paint off. Scoop the paint off. Scoop the paint off. You can use your fingers to dibble dabble in. I don't want to get too stuck in that because it's not that important. It's a lovely, the boys all going around the pool. They look like they've got some stuck in their heads now. So there they are. This is my little blondie. I could give him his wee blondie hair here. Oh, no, I've ruined that. So there we go. And the last thing is just the white paint. So take fresh white paint onto a clean brush and bring in your highlights. It's one of my favorite things to do. So there we go. I'm going to highlight here. Going to highlight because it's dark here at night. This is nighttime. And then we're going to add in these little highlights. I mean, you can add in a few little windows on your things in the background. I'm going to just change his skin tone slightly here. Need it just so that you're working with the bigger brush. It's a bit harder, but skin tones will do. I'll do a whole thing on skin tones. I love mixing skin tones. And there we go. There we are. So they've got their little heads. Anyway, it's a nice little moment in time. And what I want you to do is just to enjoy yourself. You can take a little screenshot of that, but this is how you make an impressionist painting of a New York landscape. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe for more.